What do you?
Hey guys, it's Crazy Pickle. So this is a cryo guide and it's gonna be updated one. So we're not gonna go over every ability for the Cryomancer. I'm just gonna go for the abilities that I'm using all the time and what they actually do and how they actually works. So we're just gonna go real quick over those abilities, and pretty much you don't need any other abilities to use when we're gonna go over the entire guide. So usually, alright, let's just open the abilities menu. So usually what you need is, as a Cryomancer, you definitely just gonna use your basic attack, and the basic attack has 6% chance to grant you the Icy Meteor effect for the Cryomancer for the 15 seconds, which makes the next Icy Comet free, increasing its damage by 150% and critical chance by 100. So you don't use Icy Comet just as an ability. You preferably you have to use that when you get that Icy Comet in a free version. So because it does a lot more damage when just a regular ability, and of course, as you can see, 150 damage, 150% damage, and critical chance by 100%. So try to use the Icy Comet when it's only the free version. So that's that. Another ability, which is the Icy Missile. The only one thing that you need is pretty much you only use like hold right click all the way, and it's gonna be like something like this. You just hold it all the way and then just throw it. So as you can see, it applies the debuff, which does the damage to the target for 10 seconds. So keep in mind, you have to always redo that every 10 seconds when you have a chance. So that's pretty much about that ability. That's all. So every 10 seconds you use the what I call Icy Dart, just to kind of keep going to get that extra damage to the target. So another ability that you need to use as often as possible, pretty much every time when the cooldown is, when it's ready to use, so usually it's what, 15 seconds cooldown, it's a Cryo Beam. Pretty much what it does, you have 50% chance to gain Cryo Charge effect for 10 seconds. So can consume twice as much cryogen to inflict 3 times more damage and grant. So I'm not sure about the cryogen and all that, but so what it does, also it works. Let's say if the enemies kind of in front of you in the same line, and if you use your cryo beam, it will hit all the enemies on its way. So if you're gonna use just cryo, and as you can see, cryo charges, you have 2, which is just 2 simple right clicks, 1 and 2. So it also kind of have more critical chance, I think, on the cryo charges. So I would say you can also only use the like right clicks just with the cryo beam. So just boom, cryo charge, and 1 and 2. So, and of course the third ability that you have to use more often is a Whiteout. So Whiteout is the area damage ability. It also slows down enemies while they in that kind of radius of the Whiteout. So, and it's really good damage. So pretty much Cryomancer is a high DPS with some control abilities. Shield, you can use it as often as possible. It just absorbs 90% of the damage. You still get some damage, it's still gonna take the health from you, but it's less than usual. I don't use Jagged Ice at all, no matter where I am. Distortion, if it's a single target, even if it's not moving. So I don't use that ability pretty much at all. And let's say if I'm doing some missions, then the glacial fence, or let's just call it freeze or something like that. I'm only using that if I'm in a group, let's say, and we're doing something kind of like a big thing, like maybe Avatar. So because the ads are stronger there, and if you can just freeze them, that way the entire group can get less damage and less monster will actually attack the group or personally you. So you can also use that ability as when you do some like a small missions, and if you're not God, then you can just use that and then just use the abilities. So, and of course the ultimate ability for the Cryomancer is really good. So it freezes the enemies around you, which it says 16-yard radius. Also, enemies cannot do any, let's say if they have any abilities, they cannot attack you, so they completely freezed. And of course it says the strongest enemies that are unaffected, they take 2 times more damage. So it's really good, but it has cooldown 9 minutes. So you can use only this ability just in a really emergencies, when you see that you can freeze it and you have a low health, then and you don't want to die, of course, you can just use that way you can get out of the entire group of enemies and just keep using your other abilities. So pretty much that you using your ultimate abilities during the emergencies, but your main like every time abilities you have to use, it's the basic attack, reapply the Icy Dart every 10 seconds, and then Cryo Beam use every 15 seconds, and the Whiteout, of course, you can use it when it's ready to go. So, and it also depends like what you actually do. So let's say if you're doing something as a distortion avatar, of course you're gonna use that when it's a lot of enemies around you. That way you will hit a lot more targets, not just one. But if it's a boss, then if you drop the Whiteout, you just have to kind of keep the boss in that range. So you just kind of keep running from the boss, but still in the range of the Whiteout, that boss will get the damage. So I believe that's that for the abilities, and we're just gonna jump straight to the rotation, guys. Alright, let's get started. Alright guys, so now that's the rotation part. The weak enemies like this, you can use just the basic attack, get the free comet and use it, and they will die altogether. As long as they all kind of in a small group, you can kill them all at once. So that's pretty simple. You can, if you're strong enough, you can still kill the weak enemies like that just with the without the free version of Icy Comet. But if you, let's say you're facing enemies like that a little bit stronger, you can freeze them first and then drop the Whiteout, and then just kind of kite it around and keep using your basic attack. But again, it depends how strong you are. If it takes you a little bit longer to kill enemies like that, then you just keep using your basic attack and try to try to get the free version of Icy Comet that you will kill the enemies faster. So the 4-bar that I just killed, that I started with the Icy Dart, then I did a couple of left clicks and I got lucky to get the free Icy Comet. Then I used the Cryo Beam, and then I just finished them pretty much with Icy Comet and a few left clicks. But the weak enemies, you can also drop the Whiteout and just kind of be around the Whiteout, that they will be in that area to kill, that the enemy will still get the damage. So always kind of use the basic attack and in chance to get that free Icy Comet. So, but if you're really strong enough, and again I will say that again, that you can use the Icy Comet without a free version, so you can still kill minions with pretty much maybe 1 or 2 Icy Comet. So another way to fight against enemies like that, let's say we're fighting a 4-bar right now and a few lower rank monsters. So the first thing, you can definitely drop the Icy Dart, then you can drop the Whiteout, and then you can freeze the enemies. And again, keep moving, keep kiting around the Whiteout, and use your basic attack and all that. So, and again, keep the target on a 4-bar, and then use your Cryo Beam, Icy Dart, and all that. So that's part on that, kind of two different things, two different rotations. What else? Usually I actually more prefer that if you drop the Whiteout first, and let's say enemy not dying as fast as, let's say, as it for me, then yeah, you can definitely drop the Whiteout first and then freeze them, because the Whiteout lasts a little bit longer than the freeze. So that way, if you drop the Whiteout first and then freeze them, so you have more time to keep the enemies in the Whiteout area, and while they stuck there, you just kind of keep the range and use the left clicks and keep getting the free Icy Comet and just keep shooting enemies. So pretty simple, nothing really much you have to do as a Cryomancer, just use a few abilities. So let's say you fight in a boss. You start with the Icy Dart, then Cryo Beam, then you can drop the Whiteout if you want to. But let's say if it's just a boss, yeah, you can do that way. Icy Dart, Cryo Beam, and Whiteout, and just the left clicks and a free Icy Comet. So that's that, guys, and I hope you like this. This is the updated version, so let me in the comments down below what you think. Pretty simple, nothing too hard. You do the same thing over and over again. Again, depends on the situation. You can still rearrange how you're using your abilities. So for every person it could be different. You might do the same thing that I'm doing it. You might come up with something that you're comfortable with. So definitely, if you're comfortable with something that you did and whatever your rotation you come up with, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. So there is nothing wrong with that. And alright guys, I hope you liked it. If you liked this video so far, so hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, and of course guys, don't forget to activate the notification button that you know when I post my new videos. Alright guys, until the next time, take care.